A very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Let us start the news bulletin with our top stories. Triple Talaq Bill listed in Lok Sabha's agenda for the day. Lower House agrees to discuss bill on the 27th of this month after Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge's assurance that all opposition parties will participate in the debate. Jobs in formal sector grow 3 times in October 2018 compared to last year. EPFO says 8.27 lakh jobs created. Maximum jobs in 22 to 25-year age group. Home Minister Rajnath Singh says Pakistan trying to forge alliance between Sikh extremist groups and other terror outfits to hurt Indian interests at the annual conference of DGs, IGPs in Gujarat. Prime Minister to address conference today. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj to hold extensive talks with her Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in Delhi today. Meet to discuss host of bilateral issues, including ways to deepen overall ties. MOU to increase people-to-people contact to be signed. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu to inaugurate a 70th Indian Pharmaceutical Congress. Nearly 8,000 delegates from the pharma industry expected to participate in the 3-day annual event. First up, all news on the winter session of Parliament, and it is the last day of the second week of the winter session, and Rajya Sabha will be on an extended Christmas break after today till Thursday. In the upper house today, Home Minister Rajnath Singh will lay on the table of the House a copy of the proclamation issued by the President on the 19th of December under Article 356 of the Constitution in relation to imposing President's rule in the state. A report of the Governor's recommendation to the President over the same will also be tabled. Today being private members' legislative business, 6 members are to move private member resolutions in the upper house. And apart from this, reports of various department-related committees will also be tabled. And the Triple Talaq Bill is listed in Lok Sabha's list of business for the day today. On Thursday, the House agreed to take up the bill for discussion on 27th of December. Now, this came after the Congress agreed to participate in the debate. As the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill 2018 was taken up for consideration, leader of the Congress in the House, Mallikarjun Kharge, suggested it be taken up for discussion next week. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Narendra Singh Tomar sought an assurance from the opposition that it would allow discussion on the bill without disruption on that day. Raw Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad then said that with the assurance that the government has no problem in holding discussion next week.
Yes.
I request you,
Yes.
you take this bill on 27. We are all going to participate in that, including our party and other opposition parties are also ready to discuss this. No, this is a commitment to you in the Parliament before you I am committing. So we'll stick to that. Therefore, I request you to take this on 27.
लेकिन मैं एक बात अवश्य कहूंगा, अगर सदन के पटल पर उन्होंने आपको सबों के सामने एक आश्वासन दिया है, तो उसका सम्मान इसलिए जरूरी है। ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण बिल है। भारत ही नहीं, दुनिया के लोग इसको देख रहे हैं। हम चाहते हैं वो बहस करें, उस दिन शांति में बहस होनी चाहिए। ये मैं उनसे जरूर प्रार्थना करूंगा।
I fully support the observation of the leader of Congress Party, Sri Garge ji, and also I fully support the observation of the Honorable Law Minister. This is a very historic, important bill. Let us move the statutory resolution on 27th.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, एक तो मेरा अनुरोध है, जैसा खड़गे जी ने कहा, निश्चित रूप से हम सब उनकी बात का सम्मान करते हैं। 27 तारीख को प्राथमिकता के आधार पर 3 तलाक विधेयक को चर्चा के लिए लिया जाए, ऐसा हमारा अनुरोध है।
Well, the fresh bill to make the practice of triple talaq among Muslims a penal offence was introduced in the Lok Sabha on Monday to replace an ordinance issued in September. Under the proposed law, giving instant triple talaq will be illegal and void and will attract a jail term of 3 years for the husband. And the issues of Rafale and Kaveri rivers continue to stall the proceedings of the upper house on the 7th day in a row on Thursday. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu assured the agitating members that all issues could be discussed in the house.
Rajya Sabha proceedings were disrupted for the 7th day in a row on Thursday. Soon after the House conducted formal business, members of the AIADMK and DMK rushed into the well of the House, demanding protection of Kaveri Delta farmers.
What you have said, you have checked the record.
The
slogans were being raised, but I accept your ruling. But at the same time,
different slogans are raised in the House.
The Congress sought to raise the issue of the Rafale deal. The Treasury benches countered them with slogans demanding an apology from Congress President Rahul Gandhi following the Supreme Court's clean chit to the Rafale deal.
Mr. Vijay Goel, this seems to be correct. I have said it.
Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu appealed to members to allow smooth conduct of the proceedings. He stressed that several important bills were pending and asserted that the government was ready to discuss all issues, including the Rafale deal.
Honorable members, the entire country is watching us. There are many issues which are pending before the House. Important bills are there. Important bills are there. We have to discuss about cyclone. We have to discuss about there are notice also about Rafale. The House is, we can discuss about Rafale also. The government also has no objection. The government also has no objection to discuss about Rafale. They have given in writing. So we can discuss on Rafale, we can discuss on agriculture, we can discuss on price rise, we can discuss on this Mekadatu, we can discuss on even cyclone also. Please cooperate. This is not the way. This is not the way I am telling you. The entire country is very much really agitated the way the House is functioning.
But when members refused to relent and the protest continued unabated, the chair adjourned the House till Friday. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And according to PTI sources, Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan has categorically told the leaders of all parties that the image of the House is taking a big hit due to frequent disruptions. The Speaker has called a meeting of the Rules Committee to look into the matter of MP holding placards inside the House and creating ruckus. Lok Sabha proceedings were disrupted again on Thursday. Sumitra Mahajan met leaders of all parties, including the Congress, and conveyed her displeasure over continuous disruptions. My colleague Kriti Mishra is now joining us from the national capital. A very good morning, Kriti. Speaking first of Rajya Sabha, of course, it is Friday day for the private member legislations in both the houses. And Rajya Sabha will be on an extended Christmas break after today till Thursday. Can we expect some, semblance in the House so that, key bills could be passed?
Well, Aishwarya, we've seen that how the proceedings of the House were washed away over the last few days due to disruptions. These disruptions came despite the repeated assurance given by the chairman that discussion on all the issues would be allowed. In fact, a discussion on crucial issues moved by the opposition members have also been slated over the last few days. But as we've seen, there have been repeated disruptions. In fact, the chairman also said that the government was also ready to discuss all issues, including the Rafale deal, on the floor of the House. But as you said, that today it is a day for transaction of private members' business, so there are important resolutions to be moved. So Bhupendra Yadav of the BJP is expected to move a resolution to hold simultaneous Lok Sabha and Assembly polls. Meanwhile, Amar Shankar Sable of the BJP is expected to move a resolution for authorizing for a regulatory framework for the unauthorized colony. Also, Truchi Seva of the DMK is expected to move a resolution for the welfare of widows, and Vandana Chavan of the NCP is expected to move a resolution for providing compensation to the patients suffering from faulty medical implants. So, as you know, that it is a day for transaction of private members' business, and it is expected that all the parties come together, all the members come together. So, at least as you know, that this is a short winter session, so at least for the remaining days of winter session, business could be transacted in the House. Aishwarya?
And Kriti, speaking about Lok Sabha, of course, the Triple Talaq Bill is listed in Lok Sabha, but there has been an agreement on discussing the bill on 27th of December. And also Speaker Sumitra Mahajan has categorically told all the political party leaders, that these frequent disruptions are, taking a big hit on the image of the House. Considering all these, what can we expect in the Lok Sabha today?
Well, Aishwarya, you may also recall that Chairman also said that Chairman of Rajya Sabha also said that there should be a code of conduct for the members of House of Parliament, so that the trust of the people in these institutions, that remains intact. In fact, you've seen also how Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan also said that the image that due to frequent disruptions, the image of Lok Sabha is taking a hit, and this does not augur well for parliamentary democracy. Yes. So, as we've seen, there is a stern message from both the Lok Sabha Speaker and Chairman Rajya Sabha. As you said, that Triple Talaq, anti-Triple Talaq bill is listed, but there's a consensus to take up the bill on 27th. You may recall that the Supreme Court of India banned the practice of Triple Talaq in August 2017, saying that it is unconstitutional and against the fundamental rights of Muslim women. It had also instructed and asked the government to legislate a law on this which governs marriage and divorce in Muslim community. We've also seen that in the earlier sessions of Parliament, the government had brought this bill, but there were disruptions, there was no agreement, and therefore the government promulgated an ordinance, and we've seen the fresh bill that was introduced in the Lok Sabha. Now there's a consensus to take up this bill on the 27th of December, and the government is leaving no stone unturned to get all the political parties on board so that this crucial bill, this crucial pro-women bill, sees the light of day. Aishwarya?
Right, Kriti. Thank you so much for all those updates there. And the Lok Sabha on Thursday passed the Consumer Protection Bill 2018 by a voice vote. The bill proposes to set up a commission to hear complaints. It will now go to the Rajya Sabha for its passage.
The Lok Sabha on Thursday passed the Consumer Protection Bill 2018 that seeks to replace the Consumer Protection Act 1986. It was passed amid noisy protests by Congress and AIADMK members. The bill provides a mechanism for redressal of consumers' complaints regarding defective goods and deficient services. Replying to a brief debate, Consumer Affairs Minister Ramvilas Paswan said the legislation had not been amended for the last 3 decades and needed changes to strengthen rights of the consumers.
अभी भी कोई आदमी सुझाव देना चाहेंगे तो हम खुले दिमाग से क्या कहते हैं कि उस पर करेंगे। इसमें कहीं कोई मामला सरकार का नहीं है, कोई मामला पॉलिटिकल नहीं है, प्रोडक्ट लायबिलिटी का मामला है या मिलावट का मामला है। मिलावट 2 तरह के हैं, एक FSSAI देखता है, एक हम लोग देखते हैं। तो इन सारी चीज़ों को लेकर के जो है ये बिल क्या कहते हैं कि हम लोगों ने जो है यहाँ लाया है। इसमें क्या कहते हैं कि
Initiating the debate, Pratima Mandal of the Trinamool Congress said the proposal Consumer Disputes Redressal Commissions should have judicial members as well. Members from BJP, BJD, NCP and the JDU also took part in the discussion.
Madam, this bill, on the one hand, this bill has severe penalty provision for the endorsers, and on the other, it is giving them a route to get away because the clause of due diligence will act in their defense.
After a bill is passed, after a law is made, there is no post-legislative impact assessment done in this country, for which we do not really come to find out what has happened to the bills that we are passing.
जिस प्रकार से जिले के स्तर पर धनराशि को बढ़ाने का काम किया है, जिस प्रकार से प्रदेश के स्तर पर किया है, राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर जो परिस्थितियां बनी है, मैं आपको इस बात के लिए बधाई देता हूं, धन्यवाद देता हूं.
The bill will now go to the Rajya Sabha for passage. The bill defines consumer rights as the right to be protected against the marketing of goods, products or services which are hazardous to life and property. It will have the power to set up a central consumer protection authority to promote, protect and enforce consumer rights as a class. The bill defines contracts as unfair if they significantly affect the rights of consumers. It establishes consumer disputes redressal commissions at district, state and national levels. Ravindra Sharon's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Parliament on Thursday passed the bill for people with autism and other disabilities. The National Trust for the Welfare of Persons with Autism, Cerebral Palsy, Mental Retardation and Multiple Disabilities Amendment Bill 2018 was passed by the Rajya Sabha last week. The bill aims to streamline the appointment and registration of members of a trust that helps people with disability to live independently. And moving the bill for consideration and passage, Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Thawar Chand Gehlot said that a chairperson could not be appointed since 2012 due to the stringent selection criteria. Gehlot said that the amendments will ease the procedure related to the appointment of a chairperson.
छोटे छोटे दो संशोधन प्रस्तुत किए हैं धारा 4 में कि उसकी अवधि 3 साल की होगी और यदि वो त्यागपत्र दे देगा तो सरकार उसको जब स्वीकृत कर लेगी तब से ही वो पदमुक्त हो जाएगा और उसकी पदमुक्ति के पहले अगर 3 साल की कार्यावधि हो रही है तो 2.5 साल में ही उसके उत्तराधिकारी के चयन की प्रक्रिया प्रारंभ कर दी जाएगी और
On to some other news now. In a big announcement, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on Thursday said that the government will infuse 83,000 crore rupees in the public sector banks in the next few months of the current fiscal. Earlier in the day, the government sought Parliament's approval to infuse an additional 41,000 crore rupees in state-owned banks through the second batch of supplementary demands for grants. Now, this is expected to increase the total recapitalization in the current fiscal from 65,000 crore rupees to 1.06 lakh crore rupees. Jaitley said that the recapitalization will enhance the lending capacity of state-owned banks and help them come out of the RBI's prompt corrective action framework. Jaitley also said that recognition of non-performing assets in the public sector banks is complete and that a reduction of bad loans has begun.
Recognition of the NPAs, a process which started in 2015, has made a considerable headway. It's almost complete. And at a time where it had peaked in March 2015, the non-recognition was to the extent of about 7%. That now is about 0.59. So a high provisioning has already been made by the banks as a result of disciplining which has taken place in the last few years. And obviously they led to the peaking of the NPAs because what was under the carpet has been brought in the best norms of transparency shown on the books. And hopefully the last quarter has already shown that there is an improved performance and therefore now the downward slide in the NPA itself would now commence. This entire exercise would also lead to the improvement in the lending capacity of the banks itself.
And on to the other top story this morning. 8.27 lakh jobs have been created in October 2018 in the formal sector. Now, this figure is triple the number of jobs in the same month last year. The EPFO payroll data says that 79.16 lakh jobs were added in 14 months since September 2017. Around 79.16 lakh new subscribers were added to the social security schemes of the Employees Provident Fund organization from September 2017 to October 2018. This indicates that these many jobs were created in the last 14 months. The job creation remained highest in September 2018 during the 14-month period till October 2018. And during October this year, the maximum number of 2.32 lakh jobs were created in the 22 to 25 years age group, followed by 2.22 lakh in the 18 to 21 years age bracket. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 2-day visit to Gujarat from today, where he will address the ongoing annual conference of state police chiefs being held near the Statue of Unity located in Narmada district. Tomorrow, the Prime Minister will address the BJP Women's Wing workers in Gandhinagar. And inaugurating the annual conference of the state police chiefs yesterday, Home Minister Rajnath Singh hit out at separatists in Jammu and Kashmir, accusing them of exploiting every possible situation to fan anti-India sentiments. Singh said that the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir continues to be vitiated, even though there is a decline in stone pelting incidents. Rajnath Singh also blamed Pakistan for inciting terrorist activities on Indian soil from Jammu and Kashmir to Punjab. The Home Minister asked the security establishment to check efforts to revive terrorism in Punjab. And India and China are working on imparting a positive thrust to their mutual relationship. With this goal in mind, foreign ministers of both the countries will hold talks on entire gamut of bilateral issues in New Delhi today. Now, this will be the first such interaction between the two foreign ministers after the informal summit between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping on 27th and 28th of April this year.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj is slated to meet Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in Delhi. Their talks will focus on deciding a roadmap to strengthen understanding between the two nations. Both foreign ministers will sign a memorandum of understanding to increase people-to-people contacts through tourism, cultural exchanges and media dialogue.
No, I mean, this specifically is the high-level mechanism on cultural and people-to-people exchanges. The meeting, of course, I mean, there will be a bilateral meeting, delegation-level talks between EAM and the Chinese Foreign Minister. And after that, at the beginning of the media forum, it will be EM, External Affairs Minister and Chinese Foreign Minister.
An eminent persons group has also been proposed to interact on important issues of mutual interest. Indian Council of World Affairs is also holding a two-day interaction of experts and academicians of both the countries.
This edition of the forum is being held as an important component of the newly constituted India-China high-level mechanism on cultural and people-to-people exchanges, which has been established pursuant to the decision taken by Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping in their informal summit in Wuhan.
I wish to encourage the think tank from both sides to step up, exchange, and mutual learning to contribute our wisdom in the East to a world of change unseen in a century and provide intellectual support for a closer development partnership between our two countries.
The three-day visit will see the Chinese Foreign Minister visiting Aurangabad and Mumbai to see tourist places and interact with Chinese businessmen in India.
The meeting is very important and the message is loud and clear to the people of both the countries and also to the governments of the world that India and China, though have differences, there are so many similarities and commonalities, and both countries are trying to work on those. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Television with camera person Suresh in Delhi.
And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu will inaugurate the 70th Indian Pharmaceutical Congress today. Around 8,000 delegates from the pharmaceutical industry are expected to be participating in the three-day annual event. The theme of the event is Pharma Vision 2030, Indian pharma industry, a global leader. Our top international focus now, U.S. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis has resigned a day after President Donald Trump announced U.S. troops pulling out of Syria. In a letter to Donald Trump, Mattis suggested that his worldview, which favors traditional alliances and standing up to malign actors, stands at odds with the president's. Mattis wrote, "Because you have the right to have a Secretary of Defense whose views are better aligned with yours on these and other subjects, I believe it is right for me to step down from my position." Moments before Pentagon released Mattis's letter, Donald Trump tweeted that Jim Mattis will be retiring with distinction at the end of February, adding that he was a great help to me in getting allies and other countries to pay their share of military obligations. Donald Trump did not name a successor, but said that one would be appointed shortly. Trump announced his decision to withdraw some 2,000 U.S. troops from Syria on Wednesday, asserting that the Islamic State group had been defeated there. All the sports news now. Indian cricket team captain Virat Kohli retained the top spot in the latest ICC Test rankings. Kohli extended his lead over New Zealand's keeper Kane Williamson from 7 to 19 points. He gained 14 points to reach 934 points after a brilliant first innings knock of 123 runs in the second Test at Perth. While India's young wicket-keeper batsman Rishabh Pant attained his career-best position in the latest rankings, Pant gained 11 places to secure the 48th spot. And vice-captain Ajinkya Rahane moved up 2 places to progress into the top 15. And in the bowlers' rankings, Jasprit Bumrah also achieved a career-high ranking of 28, while a fellow teammate Mohammad Shami moved up 2 places to the 24th spot. And ace Indian shuttler PV Sindhu also jumped 3 places to become number 3 in the latest World Badminton rankings. Olympic silver medalist PV Sindhu moved to rank 3 after claiming 21-19, 21-17 win against Nozomi Okuhara of Japan in the last week's WWF World Tour Finals for her first title of the year. In the men's rankings, Samir Verma reached a career-high ranking of 12. After reaching the men's singles semi-finals of the BWF World Tour Finals. And among other Indian shuttlers, despite failing to qualify for the season-ending finale, Saina Nehwal still manages to hold on to her previous week's ranking of number 9, and Kidambi Srikanth is still at number 8, while HS Pranoy moved 1 place to the 20th rank. And that's a wrap on this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching.